Hey, Christy here with Go See Christy Beauty Boutique. Thanks for watching. Our last video, we talked about nuts and acne and how nuts can be a common trigger for some for acne. So this one is diet and acne. So the American diet is very, very rich and high in omega-6 fatty acids and very low in omega-3 fatty acids. So omega-6 fatty acids are the bad acids. They cause a flood of inflammation in our bodies where a lot of autoimmune diseases have been linked to, such as eczema, psoriasis, arthritis. A diet very high in animal fats also has been linked to other diseases such as heart disease, cardiovascular disease, high cholesterol. So omega-3s are foods such as salmon, tuna, egg yolks, hemp seeds, flax seeds, spinach, and kale, amongst a whole array of other healthy foods. So the reason why we're talking about this today is because, again, we want to emphasize that it is not the food in and of itself that is a direct link to acne, but how the food is processed and metabolized in your body that then affects the hormones in your body. And that's why everybody responds very differently to the foods. So here are some things that you may not think about that is linked to acne or can be linked depending on the person. So the first one can be salad dressings and mayonnaise. So some of the salad dressings are honey mustard, peppercorn, Thousand Island, ranch. So if you notice, a lot of these are higher fat dressings. So the other group of foods that we overlook are oils, that what we cook in or what a lot of processed foods contain. So they took a lot of the dangerous trans fatty oils out and replaced it with oils that are still high in omega-6s. So for example, corn oil, sunflower oil, shortening, margarine, and soybean oil. So the two most common ones that I see, because I read labels all the time, is sunflower and soybean oil. These can also affect your hormones. And as well as processed foods is tortilla chips, corn chips, potato chips that are also fried in sunflower oil. The other common food group that is linked to acne or as well as affects the hormones is dairy. And the reason why is because there are some milks that contain some growth hormones or IGF, otherwise known as insulin-like growth hormones, growth-like hormones. And what they do is it affects the sebum glands, the sebaceous glands, and it can cause it to be plugged. It also can increase the level of androgen, which is a male hormone, and once again, increase the production of sebum, and it's thicker sebum as well, causing more clogged pores. The second one is wheat. So now with wheat sensitivities, as well as people who actually have an autoimmune disease, such as Crohn's disease, it doesn't matter what kind of products that you're using, because when they consume wheat, it causes a flood of inflammation in their body. And what happens is the infection or the inflammation is coming from the inside out. So yes, they can manage their breakouts or acne with products, but really, if you suspect that every time you're eating wheat, which almost everything has some sort of wheat in it, a very common ingredient that people don't realize is sometimes maltodextrin can be derived from wheat. Some of it's derived from rice, but if it's derived from wheat, they're not realizing they're consuming that, and then they're getting the breakouts. And so if you suspect that's you, then you can have a series of tests that you have to go to your doctor, and you can get these tests done to see if you actually have a sensitivity. And if you do, it's as simply as removing a lot of the wheat from your diet, and then your acne flare-ups will obviously be reduced and eventually go away. So a lot of people think that Japanese food is very healthy, and it is. The real Japanese diet is healthy. So in America, how they make Japanese food taste even better is they add mayonnaise, they add avocado, and they put crunchy stuff all over it. Now it is no longer Japanese because Japanese people don't add those ingredients into their Japanese food. food. So if you want to eat Japanese food, you have to be careful because for some people, when they eat sushi or norimaki, which is the seaweed, seaweed contains traces amounts of iodine, which is healthy for some people, but some people who have sensitivity to iodine can break out. Then you may need to reduce the amount of seafood and seaweed as well. The other one is there is a seaweed derived ingredient that acts as a binder to some ice creams, and that's called carrageenan. So if you are sensitive to iodine, then look for carrageenan, which is in a lot of foods because it acts as a binder. Avoid eating those as well. So thank you very much for watching, and comment below. Don't forget to comment below on the things that you have done to avoid these common triggers. And again, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Thanks for watching.